Alright, so I'm finally doing this video. First off, I want to say thanks to VGManiac456 for letting me borrow his iPod. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to start from the first questions all the way up to the question I was asked about half a day ago. Kinda. Alright, so, first question about reorganizing anime and manga, stuff in general. Comes from DeathGod840. He kinda made a funny one near the end, so we'll answer these serious ones because I'm kinda short on time. Yeah. How do I get a shelf? Where do I get a shelf? What's a double shelf? Who is a shelf in this crazy world? Yeah. So I'm gonna answer the first three. How do I get a shelf and where do I get a shelf? You can either go online to IKEA, Target, Walmart, Google search, bookshelf, entertainment, bookshelf, sort of. Or you can go to your local thrift store that sells furniture. That is where I get a majority of mine. Shelves are way too expensive to buy brand new. So yeah, the ones that I've got my manga on, I believe, were all bought at the thrift store. I know the one that I bought for my CDs, I got it at the thrift store. The one that my anime is on, I got it at the thrift store. I got most of the furniture at the thrift store, actually. Yeah. Specific shelving units, it depends on how many you have presently and how many you plan to get. I know if you don't have a lot, you'd be surprised what might happen. I mean, look at what happened to Kaio-chan. She shot through the 1,000 and she's like almost halfway to 2,000. It's crazy. So yeah, for that, you may want to measure the room of which the shelving units will go in. There are really deep ones and there are some that are not so deep. It depends on if you want a double shelf, which is another question that Death God asked. Double shelving is basically this. I can actually show you guys this. I do this for my anime as well. Double shelving is when you have a deep enough shelf where you could put manga in the very back. You cannot see what's in there. But trust me, there's manga back there. See, there's even room to spare. I could just shove this all back. But yeah, it's where you have a deep enough shelf where you could put manga in the very back row and manga in the front row. So that's double shelving, double row. I mentioned that in my video that was asking you guys questions. Well, asking to ask me questions. This does not want to stay. There we go. Makeshift tripod for the win! So yeah, that's basically what that is. Next question comes from Nerdy Without Glasses. I hope you can see me. I have adjustable shelves. What is a good idea method of how to adjust these shelves to make myself the best space? For different size manga. Alright. Let's say you have the adjustable shelves. There's either going to be one that is stuck permanently or not. It's like the one behind me. There's none that are stuck, but the white shelves that this is on, this row cannot be moved. See? Cannot be moved. So you kind of have to work around it. With the big size ones, like the 4-panel ones that she was asking about, take your tallest manga. I have K-On! Convenient. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold it up against and you are going to basically measure where the shelves can go. I'm actually going to do this in a minute because I'm going to up this shelf enough where I can put another row down there. Amazingly, I can. So yeah, basically you want to measure with your tallest book that is going on there. Otherwise, that book's not going to be able to go on there. Ah! This will not work. Yes, it will. Stay. So yeah, that's what you would do in that situation. You pick the shelves that you want to shift around, or if you want to shift around all of them, you start from the top. I'm gonna have to pick you guys up again. I hope this is not gonna make anybody sick. Alright. You're gonna start from the top. Oh, I forgot to move you guys. Yeah, you want to leave at least a little space on the top. See, this one would not fit. You'd have to lay it down, which I do not recommend doing, actually. So you'd have to drop this shelf down one in order to fit this on there. So yeah, because all of them usually have the pegs and stuff, so you want to work with that. Just kind of measure it and then figure out, and then put the pegs there, put the shelf there, and keep going. Basic, simple stuff. Very informative. There we go. Hey, it's cooperating this time. This is upside down. Okay. Best way to organize them with the normal size manga, I actually don't. I have enough for the tall ones where I have them in the very back row of this one right here. So you can't see it on the camera because the lighting stinks on it, but you can see it if you were in my room. You would be able to see the ones that are back there. So if you have enough to do that, I recommend doing that if the shelf is deep enough. If not, then you can do one or two things. You can put it at the beginning, like say you got the K-On! Book, then you got, normal size manga. It looks funny when you stick it in between. So what you could do is, if you do it alphabetically by height. So let's say K-On! Would technically go first anyway, but let's say this is A and Z. You would put A and Z right here accordingly, and then you would start it off with there. That way it doesn't look funny and it's not in the middle. It's at the end and you still got the alphabetical thing going. It looks better alphabetically if you got more than just one series that's big. Just saying. I'm running out of breath talking so much. Alright, next question. What can I use to keep them clean? Ironically, this is actually inquired about 2 or 3 times. But somebody asked me if I use little baggies, and somebody asked me how do I keep them clean. This is the best way to keep them clean. You can actually go on Amazon. I searched this before I did this video. You can go on Amazon, search for manga covers, and the first thing on the list should be the little bags. And it has a picture on it, so I've got a few that have that on there. This one has it on there. My Japanese Volume 4 of Trigun Maximum has it on there. And then the K-On! That I've been using as reference has it. I do not have any other ones that have it though, because I kind of don't quite care enough to spend that much money on the bags. They're not expensive, but they were also running low on stock, so I'm not quite sure if you can find them any other place. You can look for manga covers, and they should look like little bags like what you would find for your comic books. Alright, what do you do when you literally have no room left? No matter how you arrange it, stacking won't work, double shelf thing won't work. What do you do? That's from AG Acting Girl, who is having this problem. She's got 14 manga that do not have a space. I feel for you. If you have adjustable shelves, then you can do a little fiddling around. Otherwise, I just recommend getting another shelf, because really, when you're out of space, nothing works. That's the only thing you can do, is to buy another shelf. Unless you invite me over, to do a little magic, I might. I don't know if I could or not. I mean, I'm running out of room. I bought another shelf, so, yeah. Dreaming Magpie asked, do you keep your manga facing away from the sun window to keep them from getting sun bleached? I do not, but actually I do not have that problem because my window is small. It is curtained, it has the blind shades on them, and there's a huge tree and patio in the front, so the sunlight does not get very well into this room, or the house for that matter, so I'm not worried about that. Another place, where you got your shelf in front of a big sunny window, I would recommend not doing that, because it will make the cover's spine fade. I've got one, I don't know where it's at, there's too many. But I've got one and it's obvious it was bleached. So it really stinks, but no, I don't have it facing away. Nightgirls14 asks, I only have 2 bookshelves for all my manga, books, games, figures, blah blah blah. How should I organize this so that everything can fit even if I have a million manga? Okay, it won't fit unless you got a super huge shelf. That's a lot of manga too. I mean, I just finally have 1,100, so. And do you recommend that there should only be one shelf just for figures, or do you think that there could be... Okay, shelves look better without the figurines in front of it, but if you do not have the free shelf, then I recommend just putting them... What I like to do, I've got a Sasuke figure, and then I've got a Rei from Evangelion. I like to put them kind of in front of the series that they're from, so if you can do that. It kind of looks cool, because then it goes with that little theme. Arranging games is really easy, actually, because they aren't as wide, whichever one you say, as most manga can be, so that's handy. The only problem is that they are usually taller. So what I recommend is each shelf, arrange it in the way. You may have to fiddle it around to get it so that it works. Yeah. If you want help fixing it around, send me a picture of the shelf and what you have. Maybe I can figure something out. I don't know. Konana Wanizumi manga, I want to know how you organize yours. Okay, this is gonna be fun. About the back shelves, are they a good idea? Figures in front of manga are a burden to move. Yes, they are. That is why, another reason why I don't recommend putting your figurines in front of your mangas and stuff, because if you want to read that manga, you kind of have to work around the figure or just shove them out of the way. I know with my Lucky Star figurines, they are so precarious to put because they will not fit in their stand. So they're leaning up against the manga volume. So if I want to read one of those manga volumes, I gotta move the Lucky Star and Nindroids, which is a pain in the neck. So I recommend getting like a little shelf or something to put them on. Or if you can, kind of put them near the edge of the shelf if there's enough space. That way when you go to pull it out, you can kind of pull it up if you have enough room. If not, then you're just gonna have to move the figure. Back shelves are a good idea if you can see what's behind it. Like example, we're gonna move you guys again. Yay! Alright, back shelf on this row, not a good idea. There's no lighting, you can't see what's behind it. I can barely see Bleach Volume 1 and that's it. Alright, now this one, however, is an okay idea because, you guys can't see this, but, you can actually see what's back there. So if you got enough space to prop it up with a little something, you can use anything, really. But I do not recommend back shelving unless you need to do it. If you don't need to do it, then don't do it. Just save it for later. But yeah, if you got enough height to prop the back row up, that's really good, because then you can look back there and go, oh yeah, I've got that, that, and that. Otherwise you forget what's back there. I don't know why I'm so out of breath. I'm talking too much, that's what it is. Alright, Zanku Dragon wants to know the best way of organizing my anime and manga and games. He doesn't have a shelf, but he has a layered desk and a small entertainment center of sorts. Alright, for the desk I would put the anime and manga on there. For the entertainment of sorts, considering you have the TV and maybe the game consoles on there, put the games there. That way it kind of goes with a theme. With anime, you could pop it into your computer, usually. If not, and you have enough room, put it with the entertainment center of sorts. The manga, if you have... Alright, here's a question for you. I don't know exactly what your desk looks like, but if it has like a top shelf, get 2 bookends, put them on either side, and put your manga up there. It works. And if you have like a little shelving that's not being used and put your anime on there, or vice versa, whichever one is bigger in the amount and would work best. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Best way to stack manga. Alright, this is a good idea. Should it be piled on top of another, blah blah blah, should it be da 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 da. Has any of your manga caught on fire? No, it has not. Thank goodness it has not. How can big amounts of manga be transported from one room to another? You carry them is one thing. I've actually managed to carry quite a few because of practice at half-price books. But if that doesn't work and you have some form of, like a cardboard box or something that you can flatten or just pick it up, then you can just push it down the hallway into the room that's need be. That's my recommendation. Unless you have like a wagon, then you can do that. I just did something I shouldn't have. Okay. Alright, yeah, the best way to stack manga. Sometimes you do not have to, actually. I have a measuring technique, of which I use. Some series you can obviously tell need to be stacked, hence Naruto needs to be stacked. But otherwise, let's pick, Nana, for example. Alright, you take the last volume of the series, leave the rest on the shelf, you even it up with the end of the book, and then you spread it out, and if the series, including this one, goes past that, and you have enough room on the top of your shelf, like I do here for now anyway, stack it, because you will save a whole lot of space doing that. A whole lot of space. But if it's like this, or it doesn't quite get there, don't bother stacking it. And then the other question he had of stacking manga on top of each other, but not like that, would be reference to this. If you don't have enough money for another shelf for your bookshelf, then you can do this. I have not seen it damage the bottom of the manga at all. So yeah, you can do that. And this actually I like better if you've got numerous amounts of manga volumes, not just one series. For one series, I recommend this if you can. But otherwise, for a multitude of different series and you have enough space to do it, then I recommend doing this. I'm going to do this actually again on the bottom, because I'm going to move the shelves up a bit. Alright. I think we have one last question. Do you have any manga with dust jackets? Okay, the dust jackets I am assuming would be the bags. If not, I think, yes, okay, no. This is not what they're referring to. They are referring to, this is, yes, dust jacket. Alright, with manga that you stack and you have the dust jackets on it, there is a good way of pulling out the one that's near the very bottom. Given that you have enough space to do this, this should work. Alright, what you're going to do, I can't do it with both hands, because I have to hold up the camera. But what you want to do is you want to find the volume. Let's say you want to pull out volume 3. Stick your thumb in there, prop it up, and then you would pull it out with your other hand. And then you would slowly drop down the big pile. That should avoid any problems with your dust jackets. If not, then you're doing it wrong. But no, that should work. So yeah, just find it, thumb through, try not to hurt yourself, because these things can be rather heavy. So yeah, just do that. Kind of support it with your hand. If you're not careful about doing that, then just stick your whole hand under there and kind of prop it up like that. So yeah, hope that helps you. And yeah, it's crazy. I feel like a dog panting. Okay. I'm fine though, guys. Don't worry about me. Alright, I don't think I answered Konata One Izumi's question about how I organize my manga. So I'm going to do that right now, actually. I'm done with all the questions that are related to organizing the shelf. Alright, how I organize my shelf is based alphabetically by title, and then it goes chronologically if there's more than one series. Like with Fushigi Yugi, I know I kind of didn't do this, but Ginnabu Kaiten would actually go this way because it's the prequel of this. But by date, technically speaking, it'll go that way. But basically, I go alphabetically. Dot Hack goes first because it's got a period at the beginning, and it just goes A through B through C. With this row, actually, because if you notice, there's no B. Actually, there is. A through B, and then B through C is in the back row, and then C through D will be right there, and then D through E is actually right there, and then it's stacked because it's actually saving me room doing it that way. You can't see it though, but that's how it is. And then we've got E, F, and then part of G, and then I went over to this shelf and then went G through H, H through H, and then with these are actually done up like there's a shelf in between them. So it goes H, I, J. Technically, that should not be there. It should be on the bottom row somewhere over here. But because it is shorter than the others, and I don't want to mess up anything, it went over here. So then it's K, and then we went alphabetically correctly again. J, K, L, and then as you can see, there's volume 1 and volume 2 kind of divided, so, you know. And then it goes like that. And then it continues on going... Yes, this is actually supposed to read top to bottom, and then it goes like this, like this, like this, like this, and then it goes here, here, like that, and then it goes up, and then we go down here, and then punch is actually there because I had to fiddle stuff around, so it's technically that one, that one, that one, that one, and then it goes there. And then the first few of Rurouni Kenshin goes there, and then the rest go up there, and then da-da. Same with Samurai Deeper Kira, because there's so many of them that even stacking will not work. So yeah. And then, because I like to keep series together, that technically should go over there, but I had to put it there to keep it together. And then we go there, there, there. Alright, and then this bottom row, you can kind of see it, not very well. It goes like this. Dunt, dunt, dunt. Dunt, dunt, dunt. Yep. So that's how it's organized. I'm actually going to change it up. I did some measuring around. That goes over there. This shelf is going up, I think 1 more notch, maybe 2, and then this is going to be bumped up, so that's going to have to shift around, and then I'm going to have a second row that's going to do the same as like that. So yeah, that's how I figured out some space. Hopefully that'll be enough, and hopefully you guys had some fun. I actually did do a video months ago that showed like a fast forward version of me actually organizing the shelf. I will link you guys to that down in below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And don't worry about me, I'm fine, I just need to catch my breath.